What's good, everybody? Kobe the Dreamer here. Today I'm gonna be talking about the top 5 worst 2Ks to ever grace the face of the earth. Before I get started, just to let y'all know, everything is my opinion. If you have your own opinion, you can either go make your own video or you can go leave a comment and we can discuss it. Without further ado, let's get into it. At number 5, I'm gonna have to go with 2K21 Next Gen. Now, the only reason this isn't lower is because it was the introduction of Next Gen. It brought a lot of new things into the game, but the overall gameplay was very broken. The rim running was OP. People don't remember, that was the start of the fading shots. Literally, all you had to do was get on a small little teeny tiny guard. All you had to do was run back and forth. You shoot a fade, you're not gonna get a contest, and it's so easy to green. Now, I know guards have been fading before that, but that really started the big meta era of fading on every single three-pointer. Like I said before, the defense was overall garbage. The paint defense was absolutely terrible. You couldn't get any contest at the rim. You were getting dunked on every 2 seconds. And then also the build system. There wasn't much diversity in the builds. Everybody was making a 6'7" power forward with 90 plus badges. And if you made anything else, you were kind of at a disadvantage. Also, when you look at the features, the city was one of the worst introductions they could have possibly made. I feel like everybody at this point is tired of the city and wish it never really came into the game. It was cool for the first week or so, you got to explore 2K a little bit and, the honeymoon phase. But after that, everybody has been wanting the city gone, especially the way they had it that year. That year, you can only have 100 people in your game. And now in 2K, each different park in the city is a server. It was not like that. The whole city was one server. So that means that if your homie was in Beast of the East and your other homie was in Southside Vipers, that means y'all have to meet up somewhere. Y'all would have to skate all the way to go meet up somewhere, all the way around the city. And also, it made it so that the game was dead. 100 players in that big park, like, that's just not acceptable. This game did have a few good things, like it was the introduction of my NBA, which led to what we know now as my NBA eras. But as far as the park scene and my player and multiplayer and the gameplay, I have to put this at number 5. Number 4, we have 2K13. Bro, how much a good soundtrack will actually blind y'all how bad this game was? First of all, let's get into the gameplay. There was 2 main things that were broken about this game. For one, it was the spin dunks. The spin dunks, all you had to do was go in there, spin, and you're gonna dunk it every time. There's no contesting, there's no doing nothing with it. That was really the first time that rim running was super duper OP. And it really started a lot of the problems that we have now with the rim running just being out of this world. And the other overpowered thing was the Euro step 3-pointers. Now, everybody remembers the Euro step 3-pointers. Literally, all you had to do was Euro step, shoot a 3, and it's gonna go in every single time. It doesn't matter where you are on the floor, it doesn't matter where you shoot it from, it's gonna go in every time if you take a Euro step. Not just that, but on the feature side, this was a 2K that introduced VC. This is the 2K that really started the downhill trend of 2K being money hungry for microtransactions. And honestly, that's really the main reason why 2K is kind of dead right now, is because people don't want to spend $60, $70, $80 on every player. So they make one player and then they're bored of that player because they're not about to spend all that bread on 5 players. Now, there was some good things about this game. For one, I'm pretty sure this is the Pro-Am game. This is the one where they introduced Pro-Am, I'm not mistaken. So you could do like little live runs with your friends. Also, it had Create a Legend, a game mode that everybody's been asking back for a long time. And if you don't know what Create a Legend is, basically where you can just start with a player and just go in like it's your actual My Career player, but just any player in the NBA. So if I wanted to have a My Career with Kevin Durant, I could do that. I could upgrade him, I could do whatever. This also was the introduction of my team. A lot of people love my team now. It has gotten pretty toxic, but for the most part, my team has been a good addition to the game. Number 5, y'all are gonna hate me, but I have to put 2K15 here strictly because the game was just simply broken. You're gonna notice throughout this whole video that I don't like things that are broken in the game, and the fact that you could go in with a 7'7" demigod just did not rub me the right way. The overall gameplay was kind of bland to me. It was definitely a step down from 2K14 in my opinion. The dribbling was nice, and honestly, it was the start of the cheese dribbling that we have nowadays. But overall, the rest of the gameplay, I just didn't really like. Also, when you look at the graphical standpoint, the downgrade from 14 to 15 is absolutely insane. 14 is still looked at as one of the best looking 2Ks ever. And then you compare it to 15, and you just see it's not there. I don't know what happened between 14 and 15 that made them think that they should go backwards in the lighting and the overall graphics. But I will cut this game some slack. It did definitely have some good upsides. For one, it was the introduction of affiliation, something that everybody wants back still to this day. It was also the introduction of the rep system. Everybody wants the old rep system back, and I'm kind of online with it. I think we could have both. I think we could have the old rep system and we could have the new seasons, and we could just have a grind for the people that want to grind the whole time, the whole year, and a grind for people that just want to come on and grind every season. That would give people more of an incentive to play. Number 2, I have 2K18. Now, I know what y'all are wondering. How is this not number 1? I thought we agreed that this was the worst 2K ever, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But as far as 2K18, there's not really much explaining I have to do. It introduced the neighborhood, which also introduced the city later on. This is really the start of this free roam world 2K we have now, where you can walk around and go to stores and all this extra stuff. And the idea wasn't bad. People forget that when it was announced, everybody was geeked. I remember the 2K18 reveal show. Like, everybody in there was geeked. Everybody that watched it was geeked. We all thought it was gonna be the future, and it was the future, but it wasn't for the better. But outside of that, when the game dropped, it was broken, for one. And two, it was extremely expensive. The 1000 VC haircuts were so bad that 2K had to go in and make an adjustment on the prices. I don't think 2K has ever went in and made an adjustment on prices. If y'all don't know, you had to pay 1000 VC to get a haircut. And you couldn't even preview that haircut. So if you got the haircut and you didn't like it, oh well, you just wasted 1000 VC. Now you gotta go back in and redo it. I haven't even gotten to the main gameplay aspects, like the fact that blow-bys and the rim running and the snatchbacks were super OP. Literally all you had to do to get to the rim was snatchback, run into your defender, and you're gonna get a blow by every single time. Now, I will cut this game some slack. Luckily, there wasn't anything technically fundamentally broken with the gameplay. And what I mean by that is it wasn't really any bugs or like things that shouldn't be in the game that were being abused, like any exploits. And how could I forget the storyline? They gave us the worst character in 2K history, Be Fresh. Everybody hated Be Fresh. Nobody liked Be Fresh. She would just pop in at random times and she was annoying. Also, you couldn't skip cutscenes. I forgot, you could not skip cutscenes. So you had to sit there and listen to Be Fresh just yap on and on and on. This game was so bad that they reached out to their fans and they asked people, hey, why did you stop playing 2K? And I'm pretty sure like the top two answers was Fortnite and Live 18. When have you ever seen 2K even mention Live? It was getting that bad that they were sending out surveys where they were mentioning the opposing game. But like I said, that's only a number two. Number one, and I'm gonna explain why, 2K21 current gen. Now this game, in my opinion, is the worst 2K of all time, simply because of the fact that it was just downright broken. Before I get into the gameplay, you gotta remember, this game was a game right before 2K21 next gen, so we were in between 2K20 and 21 next gen. So that 3 months or however long it was just a filler. They barely put any effort into the game as it was. We had the same build system. All it was a new park, which is cool. It was straight, you know what I'm saying? We were expecting, all right, we're only gonna be on here for 3 to 4 months and people gonna get a PS5 or Xbox, whatever. I had one, but I know people struggle with that. But as far as the gameplay goes, honestly, when the game dropped, I was cooling, I was vibing. Nobody could shoot, I could though. I was greening. I'll show you some clips right now. I was really out here like greening day one. When nobody else could shoot, I was greening, so I had like a 98 win percentage. And they dropped a patch where it made it so that it was so much easier to shoot. All you needed was flexible release, and however you timed it, it was gonna go in, bro. You could time it super duper late. It didn't matter, it was going in. As long as you got in between a little yellow area where you could time it, it was going in, bro. So then you had the easiest shooting 2K, on top of the fact that this is when Zens were introduced. Literally an auto green. Something that is normally only on PC. You didn't even have to time your jump shot, bro. It took away all the skill gap in the game. There was already only one real build that people used, which was a play shot. And then once you added in the Zens, it took that to a whole nother level. Also, the speed glitching. The speed glitching was absolutely horrendous. It was literally a glitch in the game. All people did was speed glitch left to right, left to right, left to right. Then they shot fadeaway with their Zen. And if you were locked, there's nothing you could do because the sliding on defense was absolutely garbage. And you mix all those three things together, you get the most broken and worst 2K that has ever dropped. Literally just 2K20 with the beach, but 10 times worse. And a lot of people have revisionist history about this game, I guess because the quarantine time, it was like on the tail end of quarantine and people were still at home playing the game. I don't know, but I also noticed this was a lot of people's first 2K. This was like the new like TikTok era 2K, people making these TikToks on 2K. So I guess some people might find it as a favorite, but honestly, this game was just downright horrendous. Those are just my opinions, man. Y'all can leave y'all in the comments. Hey man, I'm trying to do some more stuff on this channel. Make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all join the family, man. See y'all next time. Peace.